What's up guys, welcome to another video on the channel. In today's video I'm going to show you the top 10 romance/action anime that you need to watch. So if you enjoyed this, don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to the channel. Anyway, let's start the video. Coming out with number 10, we have the anime called Beatless. This anime takes place in a world with very advanced technology. This technology helps some people manage to create some robots similar to humans that live in public areas. They work in place of humans in various fields. Everyone sees the robots as slaves to work in their place, except for the main protagonist. The protagonist is a kind and educated guy, but even being a good person, he does not have enough money to buy much, only like an anime shirt or food, for example. Everything was normal until one day the protagonist was making a run, and everything went wrong. He was violently attacked by a hacker. The protagonist stood on the verge of death, and by sheer luck, an abnormal female robot appeared. Hello! This robot was carrying a coffin full of ammunition for weapons. Her name's Lacia. She's one of the 5 leaders who escaped from a robot company. Before she saved the protagonist from a car that would run him over, he was on the fallen ground and she made a deal with him. If she saved his life at that moment, he would become the owner of her and take responsibility for everything she does. Shortly after that, she warns the protagonist, "I have a voice. I can think and act by my own will. But I have no soul." Bruh, this anime is great, especially in the part of the drama and romance. The protagonist and Lacia will go through some very heart-to-heart moments. And in 9th place, we have a well-known anime called Absolute Duo. In this anime, there are humans who can transform their souls into weapons. These people are known as Blazers. Most of these people attend militarized schools to hone their skills with these weapons. In this academy that they attend, it forces them to train with a partner, as a duo. And the protagonist is a guy who wants to get into the gym, but his test to enter was something a little bit different from any typical gym. He would have to duel against someone on his own side, and whoever wins in this duel will be classified to enter the academy. So the protagonist went to his battle against a girl, but when he turned his soul into a weapon, it was not quite a weapon. In fact, it was a shield, and the only 2 people that can have these abilities is him and a rich person from another country. So the best thing to do is to see the action of the protagonist and also to see the lolly, which is, well, tends to talk about on YouTube. So instead I think you should just watch it. And next off in 8th place is an anime called Jin no Guardian, or called The Silver Guardian. The history of this anime will focus on the protagonist, obviously, and online games. Especially in games because this is the trend of this anime. The protagonist is a high school student, and he is the best player in the game, and is the most famous in his generation. The protagonist attends the prestigious Shinru Private Academy, a school for the elite and the children of the wealthy. But rich or wealthy are not words that describe the protagonist. In fact, he is dirt poor and must work many part-time jobs to pay for his tuition. During one of his jobs, he dives into a pool to save his cat, fully aware that he cannot swim. Luckily, he is saved by Rei Riku, the beautiful and popular daughter of a game developer. He falls in love with her. He is also drawn to another girl, a new friend he meets in Dungeon Century, his favorite online RPG. But when the game is scheduled to shut down, he knows his adventures with her will soon end. And later on, he finds out that Rei and the online girl are the same person. Soon after, Rei gives the protagonist a new game meant to replace Dungeon Century, a tomb raiding game called Gravebuster. The protagonist then goes through Gravebuster to save Rei while uncovering the secrets hidden within the game. And in 7th place, the anime is called Tokyo Ravens. This anime is totally complex to understand and totally complicated to explain. So, here we go. The Onmai Yudu magic was once a powerful technique used by the Japanese during the Second World War in order for them to gain the upper hand and establish their nation as a formidable force. But Japan was quickly defeated after Yaku Tisha Miyakado caused the Great Spiritual Disaster, an event which plagues Tokyo to this very day. As a result of this mishap, the Amayu Agency was established in order to exercise further spiritual disasters and combat the demons that would make their way into the world. And now this Onmai Yudu magic has become far more modern, simplified, and refined for use in a wide variety of applications such as medicine and technology. However, not everyone is able to utilize the magic, as in the case with the protagonist, a member of the Tsukushimakado branch family. Despite an old promise to protect Natsume, the heir of the Taksumiyakado main family and Yaku's supposed reincarnation as her familiar, the protagonist has no talent and chooses to live a normal life instead. But when the prominent member of the Amayu Agency attempts to recreate the same experiment which led to Japan's downfall, he decides to make good on his word and fight by Natsume's side. This anime is one of the best in relation to romance and action. I really like this anime. If you already watched it, leave a like and put it in the comments. And in 6th place, I ended up putting the anime Kaze no Stigma. In this anime, there is also magic, spirits, and demons, but totally different from the previous one I said. In this one, they do not exactly fight each other. Well, you'll understand better if watching it. Continuing on, the protagonist is a descendant of an ancient clan skilled in the magic of fire, but the gift seems to have skipped a generation. Defeated by his female cousin Ayano, the protagonist is exiled with only the burn of his failure to keep him company. But now, he's back, armed with a powerful new mojo that's sure to fan the flames of the family feud. If you want to know further details, then go and watch it. And flying in at number 5 is an anime called The Pilot's Love Song. This anime is about many things. A boy who lost everything in the revolution, the lonely girl who calls the wind, who became the revolution's symbol, or the young pilot set out aboard the flying island Isla to find the end of the sky. Friendship, love, adventure. Each of them have something they want to protect. An epic story with dogfights begins now. So you better like this anime. It's unknown, just like my dance moves. Reigning in at number 4 is the anime The World is Still Beautiful and has romance between a king and a princess. So this anime is about Nike, the protagonist, who's the 4th princess of the Principality of Rain and one who holds the power to call forth the rain. She travels to the Sun Kingdom to marry Sun King Livius for his country. Despite her own reluctance, she soon discovers that the king, who conquered the world in only 3 years after his ascendance to the throne, is still a child. Furthermore, for trivial reasons, he has demanded that Nike call forth the rain. As I said, this anime focuses a lot on the romance between the two. I find the novel of this anime very good as well, mainly in moments when she summons the rain, when she's like, "It's a tangerine!" You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm singing? But yeah, this is a yes for me. Moving on to number 3, we have the anime called Suka Suka. The plot is about the fleeting and sad story of little girls known as fairy weapons and an associate hero that survived. This is a world that has been attacked by unidentified monsters known as beasts. Many of the species in the world, including humans, have been destroyed. The species that managed to survive left the ground and were living on a floating island called Regal Ile. And now our protagonist wakes up above the clouds 500 years later and couldn't protect the ones he wanted to protect, and is actually living in despair because he was the only survivor. I really like this anime because it focuses on the protagonist's life story and also on the weapons, and it follows the novel. So pretty much a 4.5 star on Crunchyroll. And finally on number 2, we have Batoon! Or just called Batoon. So the main story is about the protagonist who still has no job at 22 and lives a rather dull life. But in the online game Batoon, he's stronger and more highly respected than anyone else. However, the game he's playing now is no longer virtual, but real. He's been sent to a deserted island with only a BIM supply and no clue why he's been coerced into fighting and killing. The players are now stuck in real-life version of Batoon, not even knowing why. So I highly recommend Batoon for its romance and action, so you should go watch it. And in first place at number 1, we have Yana of the Dawn. And so the synopsis is about the protagonist living in a life of luxury and ease, completely sheltered from the problems of the seemingly peaceful kingdom of Kuka. Ha! Just kidding. The sudden murder of the king and betrayal of her beloved cousin Suwon places the protagonist's life in mortal peril. Forced to escape only with Sun Hak, who is both her childhood friend and bodyguard, the naive princess soon discovers that the Kuka is not the idyllic place she envisioned it to be. Poverty, strife, and corruption run rampant, making reclaiming the throne nothing more than a wishful fantasy given the kingdom's current state. This anime, with some romance and some cliché, also has very good action, which is why it's staying at number 1. Well, this is the video for today. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to the channel. Also enter my Discord server. The link will be in the description below. Anyway, see you in the next video.